Hello, friends. Happy 4th of July weekend. Jennifer here, excited to give you your updates as we head into week 5 and week 6. As you know, or some of you may have noticed, unfortunately, we don't get to be with our core members all next week, but fortunately, that means we all get a much needed little break. I hope that all of you are taking the time this weekend to get some R&R, visit with people you love, catch up on sleep, catch some rays, catch some Netflix, catch some wine, whatever it is that you feel like catching. Hopefully you get to catch that this weekend. As we think ahead to week 5, wanted to start us off with this idea. If your ship doesn't come in, swim out and meet it. I definitely am not removed from the frustrations of when something doesn't work or go the way that we plan, feeling like, why is this not going how I want it to go? This is like the plan and this is what we're doing. And so the next few weeks are going to be all about meeting our people where they are, to get them what they need so that they can be ready to be in their classrooms both now and in the fall. Now, all that's to say there are a lot of wins and things that we really should celebrate as we go into the next week. In particular, almost 90% of people think that their mentor teachers are helpful and provide feedback that's relevant to them in the classroom. Another example of a real place that institute-wide we're winning is around the inclusive environment, where over 2/3 of our people really feel like they're welcomed regardless of their background. And so each of us are playing a role in helping to make sure that those things are strong and that we're living into them, and are definitely, I think, going to be the strengths that we carry into this upcoming week. So as we think about these 3 magical days, July 7th, 8th, and by July 7th, I mean July 5th, 6th, and 7th. I'm already jumping ahead to next Friday. Our theme for next week is all hands on deck. So, and in a minute, you'll see it with the wee little hashtag. Next week is about everybody getting on board, supporting, and doing the things that need to happen so that we can meet our big goals. In my mind, I've been imagining those big boats where everybody's rowing at the same time to meet the outcomes that we need to meet. Our 2 big priorities for next week are no unsafe or unruly classrooms. You'll notice that that's in the beautiful Institute blue. And then strong lesson plans and lesson plan support. We did a really good job of moving some of the unsafe classrooms this week to on task, but we need to, by July 7th, get rid of those unsafe classrooms and ensure that they're a place that is physically and emotionally safe for our students. We also know that the folks that those classrooms haven't changed because of lack of support, that lots of people are working around the clock to think about what we need to change in those places. But truthfully, we just need more brain power and more people power and all the kinds of power to help get that done. You'll see in your update some of the strategies that we're going to use to get there, particularly one around modeling and co-teaching. So any of us, whether it's a member of the IMT, an MT, a CF, a different MT, an SD, this person, a that person, if we see something unsafe or unruly in a classroom, we're going to be setting the norm with our teachers that we're going to step in to model what the bar should be for our students in that situation. This is going to look a little bit different at different school sites based on the classrooms that the leadership is articulated as unsafe or unruly, but really this idea that we are all responsible for creating a safe and welcoming learning environment for our students. Even though that's something that the MTs still own the growth around, we're all responsible for helping get it out of this unsafe or unruly area. Second big priority for the week is strong lesson plans, and particularly strong lesson plan support. This is a place that core members don't feel like that they've they've gotten what they've needed, which truthfully isn't surprising based on the fact that they haven't been writing their own lesson plans yet, right? I imagine that that was one of the root causes for some of our data around lesson planning and lesson planning support this week. But as we think ahead, we're trying to be really innovative about how do we meet people with what they need in their particular lesson plans in a way that ensures they're actually going to be making those changes. One of the big ways that I'm most excited about is around differentiated lesson workshops, where everybody, whether you're an MT, an SD, whoever, is going to be in there supporting a small group of people around a particular idea or concept that the IL and CF have flagged for that subset of people. Also stems from a want that we've heard from MTs to be a little bit more looped into what's happening on the instructional side of things. You'll notice in your weekly update, give me 1 second, here we go. In your weekly update, you've got a wee little note from me with our hashtag, all hands on deck. And then as opposed to separating it by position, we've got it all in one place so that it's like actually really aligned to this idea of all hands on deck. In terms of welcoming environment, the strategy that we're using at a high level is really putting the subsets of pieces together to ensure that we're not having those unsafe classrooms. And then at the instructional level, the shifts, not just focusing on the whole lesson plan, but really targeting the things that we've already done so far. And so the teacher model, for example, authentic assessment, prioritizing student work time, and backwards planning are really going to be the places where we do that. You can spend time diving into some of the numbers and goals that we worked through. And then here at the bottom are some specific updates. And I've also included a snapshot of our data across the Bay that was pulled this afternoon. As you're looking through this document, I encourage you to leave comments, questions, ideas, strategies that you've used so far, and encourage you also to respond to other people. It doesn't need to be me or Monique or someone from the IMT responding, but really orienting us to like all hands on deck, whether I'm at a site that like maybe doesn't have unsafe classrooms, but I've got some ideas or strategies or things that I think could be helpful for someone else. I noted it here in the little note, but we know that this can be hard, right? Teaching, growing, coaching, facilitating, all of them are challenging because they deal with people and people who are changing and going through transition. And so as we do that, it's even more important to lean into this idea of all hands on deck so that you are getting what you need in a way that makes sense for you. And so as you look through this, if a strategy doesn't seem like it's sitting right with you, ask that question, propose another idea, think outside of the box. We believe that every single one of you has something to offer the team and your teachers. And that's like the real beauty in having a team of people with such different backgrounds. We also really want to make sure after this long weekend that our people our teachers are really clear that we believe in them, that yeah, these are some rigorous goals, but we believe that they're capable of seeing change and progress really quickly. I'm going to leave it there because it is Friday night of a long weekend, and I myself am ready to take a little break. I'm eager to get back into it with all of you next week, but also looking forward to some R&R myself. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk with you all next week.